Hey there, overcomers. Welcome back to my channel. I am Evora Bentley. I am a faith coach helping others to change their minds so that they can begin to see their world change around them. Overcoming the battle is all about a group of people who have been oppressed for some time, who have had their identity stripped from them, who do not know who they are. And it's all about encouraging those individuals to overcome it. It's a faith over fear movement so that they can truly receive the liberty to discover their identity in the Most High. So I just want to share something with you guys, and just to be very clear about this channel, I was having a conversation with someone earlier who was maybe at least 20 something years older than me. And so we were talking about the Black community in the whole, and just being very transparent in regards to be honest, how some of our people, when I use the word ignorance, is never to put down. I never want to bash or put down my community, but I will speak truth. And it's how some of our community want to stay ignorant, meaning not to search out, not to get information, not to receive knowledge. And the word says, my people perish due to lack of knowledge. So we were just, talking about certain things. And we were just talking about, there was something she was sharing about that happened to somebody else, and they could have took some more steps to find out other information on what caused it, why did that happen, all that kind of stuff. And one thing we really have to get the wisdom on is when someone passes prematurely, we have to stop saying this religious thing, it was their time. Some people die from a premature death. And when we don't search out to find certain things out, because it's possible that if someone dies from premature death, then we can learn the knowledge so that it doesn't continue to happen generations after generation. So anyhow, this person could have done something to find out more information. And so we were talking, and she was talking about how, in the Black household years back, like she remember her grandparents, and before then it was, you don't talk about this, you don't talk about that, you don't say this, and you don't say that. So I was sharing with her is the reason why we continue the cycle, this generational curse where we keep things hidden and we don't talk about it, because we don't go back to the root. And here's the thing, and I was just watching a video and the comments, and somebody was saying something about slavery, how blacks should just get over it. They always say we should just get over it. And one thing about this channel you need to know, and it's not for us to be in the victim mentality. What happened to us as a culture is wrong, but we must also understand how we became in the hands of our enemy from the covenant that we broke with the Most High. Yeah, okay? That's the reason why we perish due to lack of knowledge, because a lot of us don't know that. So we stay angry at the white race. We stay angry and mad at slavery, never receiving healing or even getting certain knowledge to understand the reason why I was always hush hush in the Black household. You don't talk about this, you don't talk about that. It's because you gotta remember the slave master, how the slave masters kept the slaves shut, to keep their mouth shut. They always talked to them as far as they could not talk. So when we really understand that the reason why this continues to happen generation after generation in the Black community, we have to go back to the root from where it all started, in slavery. And when we receive that knowledge and we look back as a whole and realize, you know what, keeping our mouth shut only continue to keep the molester in the family. Keeping our mouth shut only continues to keep things happening, like how daddy abused mama. So because daddy abused mama, daughter saw and thought was right, and so it happened to her, and so forth, and whatever. I'm just using those two examples. When we get to the root to understand that a lot of why we even act how we act in 2020 It's because of the things that happened 1619 before, because we were in slavery a couple of times, okay? A lot of, slavery didn't just start in America for us, okay? And that's where a lot of us also perish due to lack of knowledge, okay? Because it started before 1619 as well. So I'm sharing all this to say we will never be able to move forward until we go back to our history to understand why we continue to stay in these cycles, in this bondage. We will never be able to discover our identity until we go back to study, to receive knowledge. Yep, they're not teaching us Black history in school. No, they're teaching enough to say, you know what? This is enough to shut them up so they don't go searching for more. They are doing everything to continue to strip even more of us discovering our identity. If you Google Oprah Winfrey, if you Google Martin Luther King Jr., it doesn't even say African American anymore. It says American. Because as long as they can keep us from doing what we need to do is search out, we will never discover our identity. And this is why we cannot put our trust in them, but know it is in the one who created us, the Most High. People are starting to see different things that I'm doing differently, not celebrating Christmas and just certain stuff. And here's the thing. When someone asks me, my response has been, well, I found out the truth about some things, and I no longer want to live in a deception, but I want to live in that truth, because that's freeing. That's liberty. And when we know that we start at a very young age living a lie. We're lied to about Santa. We're lied to about Jesus. We're lied to about the Easter Bunny. Let's be honest. Most of this world that we live in is so comfortable with living a lie and deception that nobody wants to know the truth, because the truth can hurt. But let me tell you, as a people, we should really be looking at our community and seeing how we kill one another, how we continue to get killed, how we continue to stay low, low when it comes to being broke, low on money and in poverty, and to look at how our people are so different from other people in the struggle. Y'all, this should motivate us to start asking questions. This should motivate us to seek Him. The word says to study to show thyself approved. Not just studying the word. Study to show thyself approved. Who are you? Who are you? Do you know? Who are you? And you will not know who you are until you go back. You're going to have to go back to the root. When a woman becomes pregnant by a man, a seed has to go within her. You're going to have to go back to the root of the seed to discover your true identity. The Most High does not want us lost in knowing that. But will be willing to confront even the most scariest and hurtful things, to know that the Bible is not only real and prophetic, but it is talking about a group of people. And that group of people come from your lineage. That group of people, even though the oppressors twisted it, y'all, we got to seek Him for the truth. And so when people ask me and I say I want to live in the truth, and they want to know more, those who have an ear to hear will be the ones to hear and listen. But if you don't want to search out and really know, as a people, we will continue to perish due to lack of knowledge. I love you all, regardless of what comes up against you. Refuse to live in a deception of not knowing your true identity, because there's only liberty when you really discover your true identity. There's no fear in the world. You will only fear Him Okay? And you will trust him, and you'll be such a bold overcomer to surrender your life so that you can be his willing vessel. And so he can turn your story, which may look so bad, into a beautiful story for his glory. Have an amazing day on purpose.